All right, welcome to the Morning Spike. This is where you come to get all your NFL info. We are the Nerd Huddle, where the Dynasty, Pylon, Nerd Huddle, and all the other guys on the network come together to help you out with your football stuff. So that is it, man. This is the official, I guess, start for us of our 2022 offseason. So we're getting combine pretty soon.
Is it really an off season?
It should be called I don't know, rename it to something else. It's called a break.
It really is.
Not even a break, but yeah, because I mean, right now we're talking about free agency, which is going to happen pretty soon. Next week is combine. I mean, there's still a bunch of stuff kind of happening. We really only get this 1 week of no big news, like we had Super Bowl and then we talked about Super Bowl and now it's kind of like one chill week and then it's back into like the madness,
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing today. We're talking about like all the free agencies, free agent players, and where they could possibly land if they move, stuff like that. We'll get into some of big player stuff, who's retiring, who's moving, who's trying to make some money and stuff like that. But
and then the person between Aaron Rodgers that doesn't do any of that stuff. He just throws out cryptic tweets every so often, every 4 days. So throw something else out there.
Oh God, that man, he's between him and all his exes, I'm over it. I'm so over it. Like, oh my God, Patrick, another like Danica Patrick, whatever her name is. Like, she put out a cryptic tweet. He's caught seen with his like ex fiance that they're still dating. I don't know, man. I'm over it. I'm like, dude, you're too much. Like, yeah, you're too much, man.
It doesn't help that I hate him.
Yeah, that all too.
It's the football part. I hate him as a football player. That's all.
I don't know. I'm starting to get annoyed with him off the field too. Like, dude.
Before we start, there's something I do want to ask real quick. Martin, how your game go?
Oh yeah.
We're not so good.
Oh, really?
We lost 17-0.
Really?
Yeah. So we beat ourselves up, to be honest. We were better than them. We could tell we were driving the ball better than them. It was just stupid mistakes like fumbles. That 2 of the fumbles got ran back.
No.
Yeah. So that was like just 2 free given ones right there. We were basically tied the entire first quarter, and then one of the fumbles just before the half ended. That's when they ran one back, and it was stupid. And then the second half,
I mean, that sounds like second half Patrick Mahomes being your quarterback.
The second half, it was just dumb stuff. Like the second half, our defensive coordinator started doing some crazy stuff. It was really bad. Like, I was put in positions where I've never been familiar with, so that's what pissed me off. Due to this accident, I was behind in practice, so I didn't really like have much of a say. I'm like, well, I'll just get the reps, whatever that he needs me to do. But it was weird. He had linebackers playing weird. Like, it just seemed this one coach took over. I'm like, how is this even happening right now? How are you letting this one guy? It was ridiculous. Some guys didn't even play at all.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, it was really weird, really off. So yeah. Not so good.
Well, it's the last competition that any of us have had. So I mean, you're our last hope.
We're all living through you.
It's not that great, man. Like, it's semi-pro. It's not going anywhere higher than that. I don't.
Right. You still our last hope. We could do a show like doing combine stuff. We could I could bench 225, but if you ask me to run a 40, I'm probably gonna pass out or tear a hamstring or something like that right now.
Yeah, there was at one point he put me at defensive tackle. I'm like, bro,
what?
You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly what I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, what in the hell? I was double teamed. I'm like, I'm not getting past these two big dudes. Like, no.
Mm.
So yeah, it was just so dumb, and I was like, all right, bro. Like, I was so irritated. After the game, I packed up and left. Like, I didn't say anything, nobody. I was so mad, irritated, and the wedding made up for it. So I'm like,
Oh
You
yeah,
got to drink away your sorrows.
it's all right. Like when comes practice time, like it's gonna be a whole new, different person. Like
so you don't put me a defensive tackle. That doesn't.
I'm
make
not.
sense.
I'm not gonna be nice, like at all. Like I don't care right now. Like I'm at that point where like, okay, clearly something's going off. So I'm gonna treat these as games because clearly what happened last week, either we were in the right set of mind or something. I don't know, but we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah.
I want to hear a report. We should have a weekly report from Martin about this.
I think next week is actually televised, so we'll see.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, I'm going to find it. Trust me.
I'm not going to be too happy about that.
We'll stream that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'll so be down for that.
Yeah. But dude, I get exactly what you're doing, like talking about, because I've been on a team where that happens, where like practice goes perfectly. It's a nice, flawless practice. Everything's nice. And then game day comes and like you start off like with just a bad start, and then everything goes out the window. Everything goes out the window. It was like, oh, hey, remember we practiced this and that? All right, fuck it. We're going to go like completely different. Like,
it was really
I hate that. That's the worst possible thing. Instead of sticking to the basics, the stuff that you know, the stuff that you've been practicing, we're like, fuck it. We are like, it just completely changes. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You're like, why are we? Because it makes no sense. Yeah, I 100% get that, dude.
What didn't make more sense is when this man started taking over both offense and defense and started having, and he's a linebackers coach. Okay. Mm-hmm. When I see a linebacker as a fullback and a tight end as a DN towards in the fourth quarter, like third quarter somewhere, I'm like, what are we doing? Like they don't practice this at all, and then you're gonna
you shouldn't throw that in a game.
No,
a game shouldn't be practice. That doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make no sense at all. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'm done.
That's what we're going to do from now on. We're going to have a little segment this week in practice from Martin, so we can know what the hell we're talking about. The end of it. That's all we got. I mean, literally, I'm too old to do anything else but just to listen to you.
But other than that, though, the wedding went great. I am a little trashed right now, and this is why I'm not having my background, my light. You know, I can stay a little dark, and I don't reveal how bad I look right now. So yeah, it's not bad. But I'm still here because I know Mark is unreliable sometimes. I don't care if he's watching.
He's just waking up right now.
I don't care. He can't wake up to save his life to go on a simple show. Like, bro, go back to sleep after. Like, that's all you got to do. I don't care.
He's probably watching right now, angry with you. Like,
what? He's in his bed.
He should be on if that's the case. He got the notification I probably wasn't going to be here. He already knows that he should automatically just jump on. But
yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Because we'll still carry it and stuff like that. You know, if that's ever the situation or the case. All right, but let's get into these NFL free agents, man. Get Martin's mind off of that. I'm sure that's the last thing he wants to think about right now. So yeah, there's a bunch of free agents coming out or gonna start. Well, when does it start? The 13th? Or
free agency?
Yeah.
It starts as early. Ooh. No, I think it's as the 7th or something like that, isn't it?
I think it's the 8th.
I know it starts this month.
No,
free agency in the NFL begins.
It's like a week after the combine.
March 16th.
Yeah,
at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
March 16th.
So yeah, week after.
Yeah,
we need.
So that works out. So, yeah, right. I am working on that. I'm seeing what we can do to add, because I know Jimmy the other day was like, oh, only 200 days until next kickoff. I want to find a counter that I can somehow have continuously counting on StreamYard, so we can pop it up and all of us can use it. I want to find something like that, but I don't know if I could with StreamYard. So
like a 24, like a countdown. Ding, ding.
Yeah,
like
it just like counts the seconds until kickoff. Yeah, but yeah. So March 16th is when the free agency starts, and that is a Wednesday. So that works out perfectly for Dynasty Pylon. So guess what you guys are talking about that day?
Oh yeah, I know. It's crazy that everything falls upon our day. So it's like every fresh news that it's like lined up perfectly either for Panda and Grizzly or for us. It's like right there on them days. It's like, damn. All right.
Yeah. I think Wednesday is just a perfect day because even during the year, it's after the week, but before the start of the new NFL week. So when Tuesdays are kind of okay, but Wednesdays is when a lot of the stuff happens. So you guys are probably pretty good. Probably should do a countdown to World War III. Seriously,
too soon.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Martin's like, come on, man.
No, because I will never be able to be on here ever again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let's not say ever again. Come on. Let's
I could be out there for years.
For a while.
I could be out there. Like you look, if that happens, I guarantee you I will be streaming with missiles flying over my head. And that is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Not something I'll be proud of.
I don't need Martin live from the foxhole. I'm okay with that.
Hey, real quick, one of my buddies I went to high school with, he joined the Army Reserve. I think he was gone for about a year and a half in Afghanistan. So yeah, now he's doing pretty good for himself.
And that's just a regular deployment.
Yeah.
Imagine like this. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm too old to do combine. I'm too old to play NFL. I'm too old to go to war. That's it. Too old now. They don't want me.
Yeah. Well, talking about so I know it's way off topic, but in high school, I was very close to being signing up with the Marines. I was like kind of ready to go, good to go. Been talking to a recruiter, and then I tore my ACL, and then and this is before any of the war kind of started back then. The Iraq War and all that. And they're like, oh no, you're a liability. So I'm like, all right. So all that ended, and then once the war started, they're like, hey, so what about that weird thing we were talking about? I'm like, oh, so now I'm not a liability. I'm just a meat shield for you. Yeah. But yeah, I was one ACL away from being a Marine.
It's funny you said that. I was actually recruited to go to the Naval Academy. I was my sophomore year, with me in this closed room, because you're not supposed to meet with recruiters then. But because there's a Naval Academy, there's a lot of stuff you have to do. I already had my letter from my senator. I had all that stuff ready to go to the Naval Academy. And then my uncle talked me out of it because he went to the Naval Academy. He was like, yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, even nursing school. So nursing has there's the nursing candidate program. So part of the Navy is they'll pay for your nursing school, and then as soon as you're done, you go serve 4 years. And they pay all your nursing school. I think they give you like a couple grand a month every month, for 18 months while you're in school, and then as soon as you're done, you go be an officer, But I know Martin will probably know more than that. But I know it's not like there's different sides. Like the medical side of it, there's different ranks or whatever. From what I understand.
Well, if you want to go officer, it's typically because you have a degree in something.
Yeah.
Which is basically where I'm gonna go at. That's my path right now. And that's the whole reason why I'm in school full time. The moment I'm done with that, I could just drop my degree on them, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just send you to officer school, and then things are more stressful paperwork wise, but less labor wise.
Yeah.
But I've seen lieutenants who I want to be like, who've get their paperwork done and then go out there and work with their guys. And
Yeah.
that's what I want to be, because that, I've started from the bottom, and I know how it is. I know what it's like, and sometimes I can't stand pencil pushers. I really can't. So I'm not trying to strive to be that guy, but it depends.
Yeah. But I know with the nursing candidate program is very, very selective. So I applied for it and I got turned down. They only, I think, the last time I checked it, I think it was like 2019 or so. They only accepted like 75 to 100 people nationwide. So they're not handing that thing out left and right, so you have to apply for it. And I think especially me being a little bit on the older side of it all, like, over 30, they were like, that was a big no. But yeah,
now
I
demand is high too.
Now you're really, really pushing it now.
But also they're going to give you money before you serve. I mean, they're investing in you, which is, something a little weird. But yeah, you had to apply and stuff like that, because they give you a lot of money. They pay for your nursing school, which isn't cheap, and then they give you some money to live month to month, and then that's a lot of money into something before you do any actual work for them.
And if they do 4 years afterwards, so you talk about, you need someone who's going to be pretty young, because in the truth, I mean, in 5 years you're going to be over 40 and not going to be able to run around and do the same things you can do if you're 25.
But I would be in the hospital, like the nursing stuff. I'm just in the hospital all day, doing hospital stuff. But something I really wanted to do, so I was close twice to join the military. 2 different styles, but yeah, we don't want a World War III for a bunch of reasons. Yeah, that went way off topic.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah. All right, let's get back into it real quick. So we got some of these free agencies. So there's an article on NFL.com. 5 players who should stay with their current teams and 5 who should go. So I'm just gonna ran off the ones that should stay real quick. Devontae Adams with Green Bay should stay. Mike Williams should stay with the Chargers. Juju Smith should stay with Pittsburgh, and Daniel Schultz should stay with Dallas. So those are just the few. Oh, and Clowney should stay with Browns.
And this is off of who? Or are you just kind of saying
NFL.com. NFL.com came up with this it was like a day ago. So those are the 5 players that should stay with the teams.
Regardless of situations.
I don't know if it's regardless. It's kind of like there's a little thing down there talking about why they should stay.
There's a lot of pieces that can move somewhere else and be really.
Mike Williams is a big one.
I was like, Mike Williams, I could see him going somewhere else. Like, I mean, selfishly, I like the Bears would be great, but I even teams on the East Coast. I mean, I would love to see Mike Williams, but the Washington Commanders would be a cool team. Like a big body receiver, with one of these. Where I would go wherever Russell Wilson is. I'm just saying that would be awesome too.
I want to see Chris Godwin go somewhere else.
Chris Godwin.
So Godwin go somewhere else. That'd be great.
Yeah, is Godwin on the list?
Should be.
Number 1 receiver, probably.
He should be. He was only franchise tag last season.
Yep.
He should be.
Oh, so my bad. I said some of these wrong. So Devontae Adams should stay with Green Bay.
Why? If Aaron Rodgers,
Mike Williams. If he does, so they're saying Juju Smith should leave Pittsburgh. So I got that one wrong. My bad.
Yes.
Which I agree. Well, I was like, what? Yeah, he should definitely be gone. And then Cordell Patterson should stay. That's what
Pittsburgh is Russell Wilson. Does that change everything?
That's not gonna happen. They're too broke. What's gonna happen is they're gonna get Malik Willis. Malik Willis is probably the best fit there, because they're used to someone old ass, slow, Big Ben. So if you give him a speedy type quarterback, I think that would change the whole offense, man. Putting Malik Willis there, or even Sam Howell, who also likes to rush too. Putting one of those guys there would be ridiculous. I'm not saying it'll be great, and I'm not saying that potentially it would be good off the first 2 seasons. Maybe 3 seasons from now, develop him. I think with Malik Willis's arm, God damn it, I didn't want to talk about QBs. With Malik Willis's arm, he can throw. And then that's exactly like I'm not gonna say he's Josh Allen, but this is exactly how Josh Allen came in. That dude can throw, he's inaccurate, and he can only rush, and he's not a good QB. That is exactly what they said about him. And now we're talking about him being potential number 1, number 2 top quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
It's just developmental. If he has the skills that you can, like, I'm tired of people like, oh, we can mold him into this, we can mold him into that. No, like the skills already there. You just have to teach them. You can't teach them stuff that they don't know, or you have, like, how are they going to learn something or know something that they don't know that they couldn't have done already? That's what I'm saying. If Juju just stays there, only if the fact that if they know they're going to go after a quarterback, that would be the good point. But I still honestly think that Juju should probably just leave. He's still young. He could be a valuable asset anywhere else.
I agree with that.
It's not like Devontae Adams at 29. You know, it's different.
Yeah. Don't you think the Steelers, like, they always reload? They never, say, oh, we're going to build, we're going to tank, we're going to redo, reload everything. They just keep on going. They always go for the playoffs. And that, to me, that means they have the defense. They have great receivers and the running back. If they
Haskins
Haskins. Yeah.
He's gone, right?
No, I believe he's still on the staff. Right?
That's right. Yeah, he went from Washington to Steelers.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm reading. Mason Rudolph is going to be the starter for now.
As of now.
If
the season started now, that's what they said, that right now he would be the starter.
Yeah.
You don't think that Russell Wilson could go to the Steelers for 2 first-rounders and a second rounder?
He won't go there. There's no point for him to go there.
I don't see him doing the city stuff. Like we were saying before, his wife is going to be into a big decision. Ain't no one going to go to Pittsburgh to like, especially like somebody of her talent. Ain't nothing to do up there.
Seattle. You're in Seattle. It's not much better.
Yeah, at least you're West Coast though, so it's like you're. Well, I'm sure a flight to LA isn't as bad. Where a flight to LA from, Pittsburgh.
She's Sierra, so Atlanta, New York. It's not that bad.
I would say New York, but yeah, me and Brian talked about this last week on my show about Russell. We had a whole good 30-minute discussion about Russell.
Yeah,
and we hit some hard topics. Mark was being
he goes to Tampa Bay.
Washington's not bad.
Washington, yeah.
Bad.
Mark, that's what I was about to get to. Mark also said Washington, but I don't know if that was more of a homer pick or not, but they were saying Washington, and I was just recently news from that time. But you got to think about Andy Dalton is still out there. I know it's not great. Cam Newton, who knows if he's still playing. Tyrod Taylor's still playing. Jameis Winston, who I see potentially the biggest candidate right now, but I see him staying in New Orleans.
He's going to stay in New Orleans.
I hope so. I think he's the best fit. And people are forgetting about Jacoby Brissett. Okay, he did pretty good 2 seasons ago with the Colts before Wentz came in. I think Jacoby Brissett is the most underrated free agent right now that could potentially not do great, but he can be a guy. He can be that Kirk Cousins type.
How about this? If Jacoby was still with the Colts, they would have made it to the playoffs, and they probably would have went a lot further than you ever imagined.
So. I really think so. It's people forget about how well Jacoby did with New England, and then he came up with the Colts, and he did pretty good. They didn't really use him the right way in Miami, so then you got to look at someone else like Teddy Bridgewater, and honestly, if someone lands Marcus Mariota somewhere, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. Mariota did really good, but the Raiders only got him as a backup to Carr, and that was the problem. So
Mariota's problem is his durability. I just don't think he can go entire season.
Right.
That
But
would
I
be
mean,
hurt.
but they're out there. These not that great, but still better than the norm assets are still there.
Yep.
And I think that the Steelers can get maybe someone super cheap, but they can't. I don't think they can afford Russell. There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, Russ is leaving. From what, as far as I understand everything, he scrubbed his entire Twitter of everything Seattle, which is a big sign, of it. He's leaving. I don't know where.
So did Murray and
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's over it. I think he really wants to go after a championship and then call it. So honestly, I know like Jimmy's laughing, I'm sure it was a joke, kind of, going to Tampa Bay. I mean, that's not out of the possibility. I mean, everyone's too old, but
and their whole O-line is free agents, and that's why.
Oh damn, for real.
Yeah, that's why I don't see. I mean, Jensen's is a free agent. I mean, guard, a tackle, and center are all free agents. Like I don't see that happening. I think Russell's going to be smart.
Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky, I think, is going to New York. I really believe Mitch Trubisky is going to New York, and he might give Daniel Jones a run for his money.
Drive down the road.
And he's driving his Camry. He'll just, driving his Camry
down the road to next
and be in New Jersey playing. And I think Mitch, people don't.
How far is Buffalo, the Jets, and the Giants from each other? Not that far, right? Like they're in the same state, but I mean, like I know Buffalo's like more west, like more in the middle of New York, right?
So
and then where the Giants and the Jets play off more towards the east, like the coast.
I'm gonna say it's like 4 hours away.
6 hours and 10 minutes. That's what I just looked it up.
Man, that's a 10-minute plane ride for him.
Oh yeah, 372 miles between the two, Buffalo and New York. But yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean,
I think he's going to New York. I think that he goes there and gives Daniel Jones a run for his money. I think he could definitely start there. You don't have to have a good offensive line because he's never had a good offensive line.
Yeah, I know, right? He's used to it. And he said, we got Jimmy. What about Wilson going to Indy or maybe Cleveland if they dump? I mean, they're done with Mayfield, I think. He's asking for too much money, and in my eyes, he hasn't earned it.
Maybe it's just the way Cleveland is, though.
No, I think
look at Odell. Like we didn't think that was gonna happen.
I don't know. I think Cleveland's going to. I think Baker stays in Cleveland for $25 million.
Yeah, he ain't getting that 50 he wants.
$70 million contract, something like that. He wants big money, and there's no way he can get it. But no one else is going to give it to him. Who the hell will give Baker Mayfield besides the commercial?
I like Faker Mayfield better, Jimmy, because I know he corrected himself with Baker. I like Faker. That's because that's who he is. Faker Mayfield. He's faking to play QB.
I think
Indy's not bad.
No, I think
Indy. It's still Indy. Why would you go to Indy? That's middle of nowhere. If you go to Indy, you can go anywhere. It's just, But Russell Wilson, last time he won a Super Bowl was with a great defense, a great running game, and playmaking receivers. That's why I look at Pittsburgh and say that's where what Pittsburgh is. But I also could look at Washington and say that very same thing. So I mean, in Washington, once again, being a DC, you could do anything from DC.
Yeah.
So I can see Sierra being happy in DC, definitely.
Yeah. Here, I want to talk about one more player. So the same article saying Von Miller should leave the Rams.
He should retire. What the hell?
Why not? I'd say go 2 2-year, $18 million contract and stay with the Rams. Why not?
I think he should retire, man.
Yeah, but once you retire, remember these guys in the NFL. This is all they've done for 20 years of their life. And you're talking about retiring and not knowing what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And I think that you want to, if you were a team that doesn't expect everything from you, you don't have to be the man anymore. As long as that team is great, stay there.
Yeah,
you're the third option. Aaron Donald. If Aaron Donald comes back, Leonard Floyd, you stay. They're not. you're not the man anymore.
Yeah, this article is saying basically, if he wants to get paid, then go get paid. And I mean, that's what like the little part underneath is saying. He's 32. He's gonna be 33 by the season starts and stuff like that. It's like, if you're gonna play, then get paid. So go get paid. Which at this level, I think that's what it is. I mean, there's other players like Aaron Rodgers. The same thing. It's like, you're not winning. You're not winning a fucking Super Bowl because you're the king of choking. Go get money. $50 million is a lot. But I mean, you're asking for $50 million to take you to the playoffs. I mean, that's a lot of money.
He'll be your MVP season too. I think another player. I think Aaron Rodgers at Denver with the running backs that he has in there, with the O line and that defense.
Teams care? Real quick, sorry. Do teams care if that player's MVP? Hey, cool, you're MVP, but we're not winning. You're gonna take us to the playoffs, maybe the championship game, and then choke. He can't beat San Francisco. So his team gonna be like, here's a bunch of money to take us to the playoffs, and we can play one extra game.
Go to AFC.
2. Yeah.
Just go do what Peyton Manning did. Peyton won a Super Bowl with no neck, no arm, and a great defense. Aaron Rodgers still got a neck and an arm. So I mean, he has a chance. I'm just saying. So you think saying I got a chance? Go to AFC. Why not?
Yeah,
it's a different type of game. I mean, Cincinnati made it. I'm just saying. Same thing.
Yeah. And then real quick, also, I just saw too when I was going through all these things. Cincinnati, their one probably best O-line is going to be a free agent, Alex Kappa. Yeah. It's like, they're definitely saying like he's like a Pro Bowl kind of level, kind of guard. It's like, are they gonna give out the money to him because they need to build the O-line? They have to build the O-line.
They have to sign a center and a tackle and re-sign him. Like they have to. There's no question. That do whatever you can.
Yeah. So Kappa's PFF grade is 18th amongst guards. So
James
it's not bad. Yeah.
James would be interesting.
Yeah, and then we got Jimmy. If Rodgers goes to AFC, it would be the biggest mistake in his career. They are loaded in that conference.
And that sounds like a problem, but when you have all those teams fighting each other, then the best team doesn't always win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the wash, sometimes one team just beats another team, so it doesn't even matter. So I think he goes to AFC because they haven't seen him. The problem with the NFC is they've seen him for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
We know what to expect. He has, San Francisco knows what he's going to do. You go to a different team, you have that thing that they don't know who you are. They don't know exactly what you're going to do. This is your chance. I mean, I'm going to say, once again, Peyton Manning, when he went to Denver, even though he didn't change conferences, not everyone knew what he was doing. He threw all these touchdowns and all that. So I'm just saying that, this might be a chance for him to change everything. Why not? Try it out.
Go to Vegas.
Ooh.
But,
I just don't know how much of an upgrade he is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right now, I don't know what you guys think. I think Rodgers and Wilson are probably the two biggest. They're going to make the biggest splash this offseason.
Yeah. Easy.
For sure. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be more annoying because he's like, I don't know. And then he's going to stay with fucking Green Bay and it's going to be, so annoying. Where I think Wilson, he is leaving and then people are going to talk about that a lot. I think just Aaron Rodgers, because who he is and the level he is people are just going to be like, where's he going? And then, meanwhile, he's going to, doing all this stupid shit and then he's going to say again.
He does it all the time.
All the time, man. He's such a diva. Even like
you were saying this before the show that you were just done with it.
Yeah, Aaron the diva. That's
done with it all.
Yeah. So they know what Rodgers is gonna do, and he's gonna choke.
Yeah, but that's what they said about Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. Like for the regular season, there's no one better than Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Period. So my point is the same thing. The same thing was said about Peyton Manning. Rodgers goes and wins another championship. Now he's back in that top 5 all time category again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it takes is him to go to another team, win the championship, and now he's like, well, he has all the records. You know, Jimmy just doesn't want him to do it because he knows if Rodgers has 3 championships and all the records, then it's gonna be an argument again about him and Brady. That's all it is.
Yeah. And then just a couple more before we move on. I want to bring up. I just had it. I know we brought it up really quick, but we didn't really touch too much on it. Was Chris Godwin? I know Martin brought it up earlier. Where do you guys want to see him, or where do you think he could go?
If
there's real quick, they're saying the Pats are the highest candidate right now.
I guess I could probably see that.
A receiver who's a possession receiver going with the Patriots, Belichick. Godwin goes there. Godwin's going to have. He's going to have 140 receptions.
Yeah,
they will throw to him every play. It's what it will be. You know, that would be a good place for him to go.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Martin?
I'm trying to think of maybe if he goes to Vegas, or even so and I'm just saying if he goes to someone like Arizona, because with Hopkins, if he stays healthy, because Christian Kirk is potentially gone.
Yeah, he's pretty much. I think he's going to the Bears. I think that's pretty much happening.
Speaking of Christian Kirk, I think he'll fit perfectly with someone like that. Yeah. I don't know.
I just saw him.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, give me a second. Where is
but for some reason I feel like Godwin could fit perfect with McDaniels' offense in Vegas with Hunter Renfrow. They lost Ruggs, so replacing him with another speed dude would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Godwin more possession receiver? Like he's very similar to Renfrow. He's better. I'm not trying to say he's,
but he's the same style, kind of
same exact style. I
get
possession guy. He's going to get the ball. He's going to get down. He's going to catch the ball every time you throw him the ball.
But that's not bad there in Vegas.
I'm saying he's two threats. Same guy, and you already have Aaron Waller, and you have what's number 89? I don't know. I'm blanking. He caught all the big passes, but anytime Edwards. I just feel like that's. I thought Vegas had a good team, man. I don't know. I just think they need to kind of get more solid on the line.
The whole Gruden thing messed up the whole team. I think it didn't mess them. It threw them off, and by the end of the season, I think they started figuring it out. Yeah,
they would have had 12 wins too if the Gruden thing never happened. I think that's a decent team that can really play. If Waller never got hurt and Gruden never did his thing, this is a 12-13 team. Yeah. So I think they just had too many things happen to them. Just unlucky. Ruggs killing people, Gruden being caught, and just too much stuff was happening.
Yeah,
off the field.
I also think that if Godwin also, say Mike Williams left the Chargers, Godwin could easily just fill in, and that would be a nasty dude with Herbert. But,
that would be really nice. I agree, but I don't know if they have. Yes, they have the money because they don't have to do Herbert yet. So yeah, that might be really good.
So it's different places. What's crazy is all these positional skill players that we talk about fantasy. The one I'm really most excited about is what is KC gonna do with Orlando Brown? That's just the one I want to.
You have to.
They have to re-sign him, but if they don't, where would he go? He's only 26. I'm just.
In the season he wasn't doing that well. That's my only.
What I'm saying. Do you re-sign him?
Do you want to give him $17-18 million, or do you want to just? I would franchise him and put him on a prove it deal just for now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would rather pay you $18 million one time than sign you for a $20 million deal. That I'm not sure if you're good or not. He's talented, but I don't know if he's going to be consistently that left tackle that's going to you know, be everything for my quarterback. I mean, you got to be able to protect my blind side. I would pay money to make sure I have a great left tackle, but it has to be a great left tackle. I can't pay for Charles Leno Jr.
Yeah.
I would give him a little bit more than that, but
No, but my point is that
I
you
mean,
don't
you
know
be consistent.
You're inconsistent. You could be really, really good or and bad at the same time. I don't want to pay for that. I want to pay for someone who's going to be the best left tackle in the game.
Yeah. And then real quick, so we're talking. I know you brought up Christian Kirk. Right now, he's projected to land in Buffalo. He's been hanging out with Josh Allen a lot, vacationing, dinners, and stuff like that.
That's a
and also Emmanuel Sanders and McKenzie could both be gone. You know, and imagine having Diggs, Davis, and Kirk. Oh boy, Josh Allen will have a field day.
I was going to mention that because Sam Darnold, Christian Kirk, and you know, Josh Allen, they all went out together, and you could just see like they I think I don't know how they became friends. Honestly, they didn't go to the same school or anything together. So at some point they all became friends, like either the combine or something. But you could see all four of them. There's someone else there I can't remember. I can't remember the fourth one, but there was four of them and their wives were all there hanging out. But yes, that's why I brought him up earlier, and I like that. You beat me to it, but yeah.
But once again, we're on a team where you don't have to be the number one receiver. That's, you know,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, in that group, Christian Kirk could be 2 or 3 because Davis could play.
He proved that. He proved that. Broke a record.
I wouldn't want Emmanuel Sanders back. Honestly, I think Davis is better than Emmanuel Sanders, and you get Christian Kirk out there too. Woo.
I'm in the. Oh, that's what we gotta do too. We gotta do our therapy session. Forgot about that. Because Emmanuel Sanders is on my list of. Thank you for screwing me over. So, so I'm not a big fan of Emmanuel Sanders right now. So I'm like, get the hell out of here. But yeah, but seriously, like Diggs, Davis, and Kirk, we saw what big wide receivers like can do because of Cincinnati, where you just literally throw up the ball and hey, when do you guys catch this? You know, like that's literally, and then you know, having somebody like Josh Allen with a good O-line, that just takes it up a whole nother level. I mean, I think they'll be dangerous.
Buffalo needs to get a running back. They need to go to draft a serious running back. I think that will really get them something different. Yeah, it's a guy who's you don't have to hand it to Josh Allen every time you need to go get the tough yards. Just because Josh Allen's young right now, eventually you don't want Josh Allen turned to Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Please don't forget how good Cam Newton really was. And then all those hits take a toll on you. So as you get older, you have to find a good running back for him. I don't want to see Josh Allen turn to that. You know, because he has all the tools. Cam Newton had all the tools. You got to remember Carolina when they're in the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying.
He was good.
He was great.
All them concussions started rolling in. Yeah.
Exactly. So that you can't continue to take, no matter how big you are. If you look at Cam Newton is like the biggest. He's a defensive end. You know, and he can't take it. What do you think is going to happen to someone else?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I worry about.
Yeah. So we're at about 45 minutes right now, 46. I wanted to bring up something that Brian brought up this morning, because it's kind of still in the free agency kind of ish area. Lamar Jackson and his whole situation, what he's dealing with. You want to give it a little rundown, because I don't think me or Martin both kind of knew until you told us this morning.
So what we're talking about is Lamar Jackson is going to his 5th year of his rookie deal, and basically you've never seen a quarterback of his caliber who's won an MVP, that's been everything for the offense for that team, going to a 5th year of his deal, and Lamar Jackson does not have an agent. Lamar Jackson is the only one negotiating for Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, there's not going to be in behind the scenes talking, you know, under the table talks and all that stuff. That's not happening. Lamar Jackson is his agent. He's his own agent. And going into a 5th year, this is kind of crazy. You never see a guy this good in the prime of his career not have a deal and not have an agent. And what the article was talking about is that they think him not having an agent is part of the reason he doesn't have a deal. And the other thing is, if he does become a free agent, he doesn't have those back channels. He doesn't have those relationships that he just won't have. And that's kind of dangerous. It's kind of weird that you have a guy that good going through this right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they had Dak Prescott who did it, but Dak Prescott was never MVP. He was never what Lamar Jackson was. So I mean, this is really interesting, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw right now, like, I guess on Twitter, who is this? Yannick from the Raiders. One of the
Yannick Ngakoue?
Yeah. On Twitter was like telling time to get Campbell over here to the dark side, and then Lamar Jackson said, he goes, nah, he's got a few more purple. I think he said like that. So it's like this guy wants to be a Raven. I feel like
he rides and dies for his team, and this team doesn't, hasn't given him the deal. This is kind of crazy. No one's talking about it. This is nuts.
But that's the thing too, is like owners, management, as much as they love you and they hype you up and stuff like that, at the end of the day, they're gonna do what's best for them. You know what I mean? And if that's getting you for a good deal, for almost stealing, like a steal, they're gonna do that. And I think they're definitely gonna take advantage of him not having an agent. They're gonna. I mean, you guys know, like all the bullshit recruiters tell you when you go to college. You know what I mean? Oh, we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that. I mean, that's basically what's gonna happen, but on the NFL level. You know what I mean? So he said, why doesn't he have an agent?
So I mean, part of it was I read an article that said that he wants to take the 5 or 10% that you will pay an agent and not have to deal with that, not have to pay the agent. He could put in a account or whatever. He can use that for his retirement. But the biggest thing is, I think he just doesn't trust them. So what's
he
the
just
point?
doesn't want one.
Yeah. So why would I pay someone else?
Choosing.
I know I want to be the team. I know what my market value is. Talk to me.
Thing is, he could be a holdout too. Like he could be, like he should be until he gets that done too. And there's really nobody.
He loves the team, and that's the problem.
I mean, yeah, that is the problem. But I think that he could potentially do this. Like he could hold out if he wanted to, until that got done. So,
yeah, I mean, I think not having that person.
You guys remember, like Game 10 in the season, Lamar Jackson. I mean, the Ravens were the best team in the AFC, especially in at least in their division. They're way better than Cincinnati. It's just that Lamar Jackson got hurt, and then the team revolves around him. He literally does everything for them. So it's like if he's out, then they can't do anything. So they could have easily been in the Super Bowl. That they have that type of team that with him they can do those type of things. Yet they don't want to pay him. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. I mean, that's what they do. It's like he's gonna go to them and like, hey, I want a raise, and they're like, they're gonna be like, all right, we'll give you 2%. It's like that's just kind of shit that happens, in the corporate world. It was like, hey, I want a raise. Okay, we'll evaluate you and then give you a penny.
One other thing I saw is what Martin said. What Martin said about Marcus Mariota. That's what they're looking at. They're like, well, why would I pay you $40 million when I can go pay Marcus Mariota $20 million and say and put that in my back pocket? And that's what he's dealing with because people still don't believe in him, no matter what they say. They still don't believe that he can last in the NFL like this.
Yeah, even Jimmy's like he was on his way of winning an MVP. At the beginning of the season, like Brian was saying, like he was good. He was really good. Next season, he could have a really great year again. And
that would be like he made 3 out of 4 years, 3 out of 5 years, you're an MVP candidate. The first year you ever started, and then last year he got injured towards the end. But 3 out of 5 years, he's an MVP candidate, and he doesn't have a contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and I'm looking right now. Sports Illustrated already saying there's some rumors starting that he might be a holdout for training camp until the deal gets done. So Martin,
he should be. He probably should be until it gets done, because like right now, that would be his leverage to get it done.
Only leverage.
Mm-hmm. And there's nobody who could say anything about him because he doesn't really have anybody to answer to but himself.
Yep.
So in a way, it's good. In a way, it's bad. But people are like, well, that's not really his job because he doesn't know the financial side of it. I'm like, yeah, but like, what did he finish school? I can't remember if he finished school or if he finished like a degree. Like, what if he finished in financing and then went in? I can't remember. I'll have to look this up. Like, now that we brought this up, and we'll talk more about it.
He's
but
really smart. I feel like
he is too. Just the way he plays and how he carries himself, he's very respectable. Like when his interview process, the way he speaks and the way he like carries himself, I wouldn't doubt in my mind that he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the problem once again is you don't pay. I don't really pay an agent for negotiating or defining the deal. You pay an agent for the back channels, things, making the deal behind
for other teams and stuff, right?
Yeah, and for other things, just so you could focus on playing football, and
and they focus on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
But it's also like doing your own taxes. Like that's cool, doing your own taxes when it's just you and you're 21 or something like that. Doing your own taxes when you start owning a business and you're making millions of dollars and you have all these things, and then you want to do your own taxes. I was like, you start getting out of your knowledgeable like area. You know what I mean? Like you're not, I want to say a comfort zone, but it's a little bit more than that. Same thing. Like an agent knows things you don't know because that's their job. You know what I mean? The same thing is like an agent might love football and love sports, but they're not an athlete, or maybe they try to be, but for whatever reason it didn't work out, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't say so we're okay. We'll get to Dalton and Riley Gaming's question in a second. And then Jimmy still on the Lamar Jackson. How much do you think Ravens give him? 40 to 45 mil? Question mark.
I think he shouldn't sign for anything less than 4 years, 4 years, $200 million. Or maybe 5 years, $200 million. I think 5 years, $200 million is what I'll be looking for.
That's not a bad number.
I think that's just the going rate right now. And he's the MVP. 5 years, $200 million. That's what I want. Yeah. I mean, Carson Wentz got 5 years, $165 million.
Yeah.
And this is 3 years later, and he's a better quarterback. So I mean, give me 5 years, $200 million, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. So real quick, I did find out Jackson did not earn a degree because he left after his junior year.
Yeah, so he's been taking classes for communications.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably something afterward. Yeah. Yeah. So then we'll get to Dalton and Riley Gaming. He said Steeler next QB. We were kind of talking about this at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, we did.
But I know you were saying
tell you, man.
What was his name?
Watch Russell Wilson. I'm just telling you. What?
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, it's on all the ESPN all the pages. And if not Russell Wilson, I really like what's his name from New Orleans, James Winston, another quarterback just like Big Ben. Great arm, smart guy, can throw the ball all around the field. He holds on to the ball a lot because he's bigger and stronger than they are. I think he's very similar. You wouldn't have to change anything in your offense if you take out Big Ben and put James Winston in. Nothing changes.
That's kind of funny. Who are you saying, Martin? I know you were saying somebody earlier.
Drafting a young guy.
Yeah, the draft.
I was saying first option draft.
Yeah.
And it more likely can be Malik Willis. Man, like If we could rewind this and just play what I said, that'd be great. Because
I like Malik Willis.
well, I mean, I could technically I could go on YouTube and just rewind everything. Just go back.
Just go back and play it.
But it was Malik Willis, I think, would be probably their best option. It would change the speed of what they have there. Because I'm looking at some of these guys, like, yes, we see Jameis Winston. And yes, we see Jacoby Brissett. Yes, we see Marcus Mariota. All these guys, potential Tyrod Taylor, like, but he's a little bit on the older side. You don't want Andy Dalton there. You don't want Cam Newton there. Fitzpatrick's done.
Would be something.
That I don't see that's going to happen either.
Well, Brian Flores is there, and Flores is the one who's been campaigning for Watson.
Okay, but you got to think about how much money they actually have, and it's not a whole lot to be banking on someone like that. If I see, like I said, I see some of these cheaper guys, Winston, Brissett, Bridgewater, Mariota. Hell, I'll even give you Trubisky. These guys aren't that great, but they're not in a really good potential spot where they can get someone as good as Russell. So at this point, I only see the cheapest and best way that you can gamble on and potentially get the best available would be through the draft. And here's why I think Kenny Pickett's going to be gone. Matt Corral's going to be gone. Your next best QBs are probably going to be Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell, Malik Willis. And of those three rookies that are coming in, I see Malik Willis probably being the best. Why? Because he has an arm, and you can teach him to do certain things that a lot of the QBs in the league now don't have. They don't have a rushing upside. Yeah, there's a handful of them, but a lot of them don't. That can change the offense with, I mean, if Malik Willis went there, Chase Claypool would easily go up my ranks so fast with Chase Claypool and him. Juju would probably rethink about signing there. And then with Harris, Najee Harris, that would be a perfect fit with Malik Willis. Like, it would just be so perfect as the passing game with someone like that style. And this is why I think Sam Howell and Malik Willis would be the best and cheapest option for them. But they're both rushing QBs, and I think that's the best thing that Pittsburgh needs.
Well, Pittsburgh has $30 million of cap space.
Yeah, but they're hurting in other places. And if you blow it on their line sucks. Their line sucks.
Off the line. It is off the line.
That's what I'm saying. That's where they need to spend most money at.
But why wouldn't you just go ahead and start drafting it, doing that in the draft instead of get an established QB, especially if you're talking about, as I said, Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson. I think it's a pipe dream, but I think you don't have enough ammo to get Deshaun Watson personally. But and he's going to make $40 million. You only got $30 million of cap space. He's going to make $40 million. I think that's too much of a jump. But why wouldn't you then build it through the draft?
Because you could probably use one less draft pick, or you could use a single draft pick on a one QB where if you have the money that you can potentially build for Orlando Brown, Teron, Armstead, these guys, their talent. If you just plug them in, it could easily be better for a single draft pick for a QB to come in and play with that rather than spending 3 to 4 picks and hope for the best. Where if you could use the money on someone or on the talent that you've seen already, can just plug in and use a single round draft pick than 3 or 4 of them online. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I want to argue with you, but you make too many.
Oh, go for it. It's fine. Like I wanted to argue last week.
Too logical. I can't. What you're saying makes sense.
I'm half drunk right now. And this is me saying this. All right. I just got off of my wedding, or not my wedding, but one of my good friend's wedding, and I'm not even fully aware right now. So go for it. I'm off.
I think with having $30 million of cap space and having a trade exception, I think that you go ahead and if you trade for somebody, that might fit into your cap space a little bit more, and get rid of Villanueva's contract. You draft someone in the first round, second round, third round because they have 7 draft picks. I think you can have a chance of changing that lineup pretty well. And this is the deepest line you have offensive line. I think if you're going to do something, you're going to draft a quarterback. You don't go to the weakest quarterback draft to do it. Yeah, I feel like you don't want to be in the EJ Manuel draft talking about I need to get a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
It's also right now QB is very hard right now. People are getting out. People are getting older. Right now that these guys are coming in and they're not going to be the best. We all know that. But they'll be good fillers for now. Like I would gamble on some of these guys more than freaking someone like Fitzpatrick. Like we wouldn't even know if he's gonna stay. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I would gamble on these rookies more than Fitzpatrick. I would gamble on any of these rookies more than Andy Dalton.
Oh hell yeah.
Cam Newton.
I don't think any of them will ever be the same talent level as Jameis Winston.
Then this is what I'm saying. Like
these guys would be Marcus Mariota. I mean, even if Russell Wilson's not the right guy, I think that there's 3 or 4 guys that you could get that would be a good fit, and then rebuilding your line through the draft might be the better overall option.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if you're doing a longer deal, you can restructure that. This year is not the big cap hit. It'll be the following year when you're going to jump up another $30 million in cap space. And doing that, I mean, look at the Saints. They restructured the deal and freed up $40 million in space. You know what I'm saying? You can do those. You can restructure deals and do that. Why not get someone that you believe that can win now? And quarterbacks play to, they take care of their bodies now. They can play to at 40. Why don't you get a guy 32 that could go win now, especially with the defense you have right now in that division? Because every team in that division is good.
Yeah.
So you can't afford, especially in Pittsburgh, to go back to having a guy that you're not sure about. When they got drafted Ben, they weren't sure about him, but he was still in a great draft. This was a great QB draft. This is not that. And this is a great O-line and D-line draft. Wide receivers is deep. I just don't think that this is necessarily what you can get, the time to go get your quarterback, not this draft. What if you sign Jameis Winston and then go ahead and draft a guy next year? I think that might be a better deal overall.
I mean, they're in a weird situation. They could go either way.
Right. But also, what QB is going to sign a 1-year deal, though?
You give a 3-year
not going to want to.
You get a 3-year deal, and then you say, let's see what we do with this guy. We could develop him, and if Jameis Winston is our answer, then we'll trade him. The Green Bay Packers.
I think Mariota would probably be the best fit.
I don't know if he's tough
in there. I don't know.
Like, can they do with Bridgewater? Maybe Bridgewater's not anything flashy. He drives up the field very slowly because he doesn't do the deep ball. He's so safe, kind of, that it's annoying to where it's like not even fantasy relevant because he's too safe, and that's what's annoying. He does these like 5-yard hitches and a little, screen passes and stuff. It's nothing crazy, and that might be for the 1 year they need to get their QB in the draft the following season.
Give me Jacoby Brissett then. If I want to do that, give me Jacoby Brissett. And at least he'll throw the ball to place Chase Pool.
That could easily be a good fit because next season, the QBs are going to be better. Bryce Young is gonna come out too.
Oh damn.
Yeah. My problem with Bryce Young, once again, we'll get to that later, but 5'9" quarterbacks just don't do well in these drafts. Look at, you have one good one and that's it. Drew Brees, even Drew Brees had to restructure his shoulder. So you know what I'm saying? Like this, it's just guys that are smaller guys usually don't last forever. They just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a really interesting offseason. I would love to see what happens. I want to see what happens to this Deshaun Watson stuff. I want to see where Marcus Mariota goes. I know we're not supposed to say this name, but Mitch Trubisky could be a starting quarterback again. I'm just saying all these things can happen.
This isn't your show. You can say it all you want.
Okay.
Your show's on Tuesday.
I don't believe in his name, Mr. Trubisky. I mean, as long as it's not in the whole idea of Chicago, he's okay. But these guys, we don't know what's going to happen. And I think
he's cheap.
If he's cheap and he can run and he can win, you already know he can win with a good defense. So I'm just saying that there's a lot of guys out there like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens.
Mm-hmm. Anything else real quick before close it out?
For you guys, so
I do, but go ahead.
Okay, go. No, you go first. Go ahead.
Well, since we're on the QB thing, so with the Lamar, I was going to mention this during the Lamar, and then we brought up Pittsburgh. We all know that Tyler Huntley is available now, right?
I completely forgot about him.
Tyler Huntley's available, and he's a free agent. He's only 24. He did not sign a big year thing. I'm just saying he did really good, and I have a feeling that the cheapest, most valuable guy in a team, and if any NFL team are actually smart about it, they would get this dude.
Yeah, I agree.
Tyler Huntley. Just watch. No one's talking about him. Except for here, because I just brought him up, but nobody.
That was it. That's all right.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, what do you do with Tyler Huntley? What if you are the team I was thinking was Minnesota, but why not go sign someone like that on your team?
Pittsburgh should be. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh needs a rushing quarterback. That's what they need. The offensive weapons there are just so perfect.
The Steelers. It's like
Fairmouth, Claypool, Harris, all need a rushing type QB.
Yeah, but going from the Ravens to the Pittsburgh Steelers,
who cares?
That's hard.
Who cares?
I think when you believe in your team, like you believe in that, it's hard doing those type of things.
He knows he's not going to play over Jackson. Like if Jackson figures out his situation, he knows he's not going to play over him. Why not just go somewhere else? At the end of the day, he's got to look out for himself. And if Tyler Huntley is smart, which he seemed like, I don't know, but he seems like a smart dude. I mean, he is only 24, which is surprising. They got him at a 1-year deal, undrafted free agent, and so therefore he's available. He can go anywhere, and I'm telling you right now, and exactly what Jimmy said, he's phenomenal.
But what if Baltimore trying to sign him? Why wouldn't you go somewhere like Tampa Bay? You could go somewhere like Miami. You could go. I mean, there's Carolina. Tyler Huntley in Carolina will make so much. He makes more sense than any of these guys in any QB coming out right now.
I'm gonna cut this out and put it on my show, bro. No one's bringing up Tyler Huntley. I don't know why nobody's brought him up.
Dude, you forget about him when they play behind somebody of that style caliber. He gets lost in the sauce, and it's just what it is, Like everyone's talking about the main guy, and you forget you have this like hidden gem, down there. So
that's probably why they haven't signed him yet. Lamar Jackson probably hasn't been signed because they're not sure if he can stay, healthy enough. And you got Huntley, who could be a much cheaper option. Can you imagine paying Huntley $15 million a year instead of paying, Lamar Jackson $50?
Just saying.
That's interesting. Yeah, definitely, man. Cut this up, man. Cut it, because I completely forgot about it. And man, but him in Pittsburgh, that would be something.
Oh yeah,
that would be something.
Out there, guys, since we're talking about that division.
Wow,
I completely forgot about that. Cleveland.
If I had my thing, my little mind blowing thing, I'll play right now. Yeah,
I would love to see Kirk Cousins go to Cleveland and show that. I mean, a regular quarterback that can accurate can win it with that team with a great defense.
Yeah, I see. You say, yeah.
Instead of Baker Mayfield, I would go give it to Kirk Cousins. I think you got 3 years left of him with that defense. I think it'll be really interesting. And I don't like Kirk Cousins. I think about him. But I think with Cleveland,
it'd be good.
That might be interesting.
I mean, if Cleveland did well with Baker, who they made him look amazing. You imagine somebody who's actually like halfway decent.
He's actually a professional quarterback.
Hey,
Jimmy giving you some credit. Excellent point, Martin. Excellent. But
even when he's drunk,
yeah,
he's good.
Hey, I don't.
Even when he's drunk. All right. So going forward, we started the offseason. So here's some big NFL dates, and that's definitely gonna coincide with what we're talking about in our shows. March 1st through 7th is the scouting combine, and then March 8th is the deadline to designate franchise or transition tags. March 14th through 16th is free agency negotiations open. March 16th is the new league year opens. And then April 18th is off-season programs can begin. April 20th, OTAs. April 22nd, restricted free agent offer sheet deadline. And then April 28th to the 30th is the draft. So those are some big days for off-season stuff before the draft or leading to the draft. So we'll definitely talk a lot about stuff that happens around those days, because a lot of things happen, with stuff like that, especially free agency, the combine's going on, franchise tags and stuff like that. So a lot of big news, because there are a lot of players, a lot of big name players too, that are gonna move around or gonna sign big contracts, stuff like that. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated with that into the off season. Plus, I know on the Morning Spike, we're gonna do we're definitely going to do our divisional breakdowns again. We're not going to go so crazy as we did last year, because it definitely got a little much at the end. But we're still going to do it. But we'll definitely fill it in with more fun stuff. So we'll do some more trivia and hang out and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll do some more in-person stuff together.
Oh.
And then Jimmy said, great show, guys. Final comment, I'm manifesting positive energy that Tom Brady goes to San Francisco 49ers. You're not the only one, man.
You're not that far off. I told you this before. You're not that far off. It's possible. As it gets real close. Yeah. You're
joking, but not really. It's a half a joke. Like, man. So
I was going to ask you guys, do you think Jordan Love is going to get released? Because that was the big thing they're talking about in Green Bay, that they're going to release Jordan Love.
Man, I don't know. I just kind of watch Green Bay and just let them do their thing. I don't know what they do, what to expect. It's like I want to get a bucket of popcorn and just watch what Green Bay does. Like, I want to see what they do. They're so interesting to me. I don't know what they do. I don't know what the whole staff does. It's just they're so entertaining, because it could be great, it could be horrible. The whole stadium go on flames and it'd still be entertaining. I don't know.
It's a soap opera.
Yeah.
It really is.
Rodgers' turn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. He's an asshole though. Out there.
That's our show.
I'm over it. I don't think did I get rid of the picture? I think I did. It might be on the Tuesday one. But yeah, that's it. So we got a bunch of stuff to still talk about. Football is over, but football
is never over.
Moves, I guess, they're still open. So yeah, so we're gonna still talk about a bunch of good stuff and have some fun in the off season. Definitely gonna do some more mock drafts. We're gonna get into some of that, hopefully. I know Get Right Fantasy, those guys are already doing mock drafts. Those guys are crazy with their mocks. So go check them out too if you want to get into some super early mocks. We'll probably wait until the draft is over and then start doing more mocks. But excuse me. But all right, let's get out of here, guys. Who's that one?
I haven't seen Martin smile.
Hey, keep smiling.
He laughs sometimes, but I don't know if he smiles.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Thank you guys for coming. Martin coming in clutch right the minute. He goes, hangover? What's a hangover? Because it's football. We're talking football.
I'm going back to sleep, bro.
All right. Well, you go back to sleep. We're going to head out, enjoy you guys' Sunday. Weather's starting to get better, so go out, enjoy it before It gets really bad. Well, at least in Chicago. I don't know how it is in Arizona.
Never
He's
bad.
fantastic. He's fantastic.
Yeah. Nice.
It really is. It's like 65 degrees during the day. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's
Better than
that's perfect.
right now. It's like 20, I think. So
Mm.
yeah. All right. Let's get out of here, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, there
Thanks,
it is.
guys. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Dalton, Riley Gaming. I appreciate everyone being part of the show.
Yep. Cool. We will see you guys next week. See you guys later.